Everyday habits, the ones you hardly even think about, could actually be slowly stealing your eyesight. It may sound dramatic, but with glaucoma, often called the silent thief of vision, that's exactly what happens. This condition isn't just about genetics or bad luck. Your daily choices, from how you sleep to what you eat and even how you handle stress, can raise your intraocular pressure and put your optic nerve in danger. The harsh reality is that once glaucoma leads to vision loss, it can't be reversed. But here's the encouraging part: you have far more control than you might think. In this video, we'll look at 6 common habits that can make glaucoma worse and the practical changes you can start using right away to protect your sight. So let me ask you, have you ever skipped your eye drops because you were in a rush? Do you lean on that second or third cup of coffee to get through the day? Or maybe you're working out, thinking it's helping, without realizing some exercises could actually harm your eye health. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid, and what to do instead, so your eyes can stay stronger for years to come. Habit number 1. Sleeping position and sleep problems. Most people never stop to think about how the way they sleep can affect glaucoma, but it really can. Research shows that lying flat on your back, or worse, on your stomach with your face pressed into the pillow, raises intraocular pressure. It's like pressing your thumb on a garden hose. The flow slows, and the pressure builds up inside. Even something as simple as moving from sitting to lying down can raise eye pressure by 3 to 4 millimeters of mercury, and while that number sounds small, over time it adds up and increases the risk of optic nerve damage. Another major factor is sleep apnea, the disorder where breathing repeatedly stops during the night. Beyond leaving you tired the next day, it starves the eyes of oxygen, disrupts circulation, and contributes to fluid buildup. Large studies have found that untreated sleep apnea can nearly quadruple the risk of glaucoma, and even after adjusting for conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure, the risk still remains about 40% higher. So if someone snores loudly, wakes up gasping, or struggles with daytime exhaustion, it may be more than just a sleep issue. It could also be harming their eye health. The encouraging part is that small adjustments can make a real difference. Elevating the head of the bed a few inches or using a wedge pillow reduces pressure and gives the optic nerve some relief. Avoiding positions where the face is pressed into the pillow or lying on the eye most affected by glaucoma can also help. And if sleep apnea is suspected, it's essential to see a specialist. Treatments like CPAP don't just improve breathing, they may also protect against further vision loss. Keeping a steady sleep routine is another simple step. Going to bed and waking up at the same times each day helps the body regulate better, reduces fatigue, and supports healthier eyes overall. What happens during those nighttime hours quietly shapes your future vision, but rest isn't the only daily factor that matters. The way you move during the day also has a big impact on glaucoma. Habit number 2. Exercise mistakes/risky physical activity. Physical activity is one of the strongest allies for staying healthy past 60. It keeps the heart strong, the joints flexible, and it even benefits eye health. But when it comes to glaucoma, the type of exercise matters a lot. Some activities lower intraocular pressure, while others push it higher and put the optic nerve at risk. Moderate aerobic exercise, like brisk walking, swimming, or cycling, has been shown to temporarily lower eye pressure and improve blood flow to the optic nerve. That translates into less damage and a slower march toward vision loss. Research has even shown that walking for about 2.5 hours a day, or adding around 5,000 extra steps, significantly slows down visual field decline. Evening exercise seems to have an added benefit too. Just 10 extra minutes of movement later in the day was linked to a 15% lower chance of glaucoma progression. These don't need to be intense workouts. Simple activities like gardening, stretching, or a stroll after dinner can make a real difference. On the other hand, some forms of exercise can be harmful. Heavy lifting, holding your breath while straining, or yoga poses that place the head below the heart can make intraocular pressure spike in seconds. Think of it like overinflating a balloon. The sudden stretch can cause damage, and the same thing happens inside the eye when pressure shoots up. The smarter approach is to stick with lighter weights and more repetitions, breathing steadily through each movement instead of holding your breath. If yoga is part of your routine, skip inversion poses and ask for alternatives that keep your head above your heart. And always remember to warm up before starting and cool down afterwards so the body adjusts safely. When it comes to glaucoma, Exercise can act as medicine or as poison. The difference lies in choosing the right movements. And just as physical activity shapes your health, the food and drinks you consume each day have just as much power over how your eyes handle pressure. Habit number 3. Diet, stimulants, and eating habits that hurt. You've heard the saying, "You are what you eat," and when it comes to eye health, it couldn't be more true. The foods and drinks you choose every day either help shield your vision or quietly push glaucoma further along. And no, it's not just about eating carrots, though they certainly don't hurt. Take coffee, for example. For people with glaucoma or ocular hypertension, too much caffeine can temporarily raise intraocular pressure, usually within 30 to 60 minutes after a cup. The rise may be small, just a fraction of a millimeter of mercury, but over years of daily coffee, those spikes can add up, straining the optic nerve. That doesn't mean giving up your morning ritual, it simply means being mindful. 1 or 2 cups may be fine, but 4 or 5 every day could become a problem. Switching to decaf in the afternoon is a smart compromise. Alcohol tells a similar story. A glass of wine here and there isn't likely to harm, but regular heavy drinking has been linked to higher pressure in the eyes and greater risk of open-angle glaucoma. So while alcohol may briefly lower IOP, the long-term trade-off is not in your favor. And then there's the plate. Diets lacking antioxidants, omega-3 fatty acids, and leafy greens leave the optic nerve more vulnerable to oxidative stress, the same way a metal gate rusts when left unprotected. By contrast, meals rich in spinach, kale, blueberries, walnuts, and fish like salmon give the eyes protective armor, supporting circulation and reducing oxidative damage. Here's a simple swap. Trade that fast food burger at lunch for a salad topped with salmon and walnuts. Not only is it heart healthy, but it also shields against further optic nerve damage. And when it comes to hydration, sip water steadily throughout the day rather than gulping large amounts at once, since sudden surges can temporarily raise eye pressure. The takeaway is simple: every bite and sip matters. Diet isn't just about waistlines or cholesterol, it's directly shaping the future of your sight. And just like nutrition can either protect or weaken the eyes, sitting too long and neglecting the heart can also put vision at risk. Habit number 4. Being sedentary/poor cardiovascular health. It's often said that sitting is the new smoking, and for those with glaucoma, that comparison isn't far off. Long stretches of inactivity don't just stiffen joints, they also reduce circulation, which makes it harder for blood to nourish the optic nerve. Without steady oxygen and nutrients, the nerve becomes more fragile, raising the chance of vision loss. Studies highlight just how powerful movement can be. Adding around 5,000 extra steps per day was linked to a 10% slower decline in visual fields among glaucoma patients. That doesn't mean marathon training. It could be as simple as walking the dog a little farther, parking farther from the store, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Even small bursts of physical activity can help keep intraocular pressure steadier. But circulation isn't only about movement, it's also about overall heart health. Hypertension, clogged arteries, and even low nighttime blood pressure can all reduce blood flow to the eyes. For someone already dealing with glaucoma, that's a double hit, because the optic nerve gets less nourishment right when it needs it most. The good news is that small changes add up. Standing and stretching every hour, taking short walks around the house, or using resistance bands while seated can all keep circulation going. Pair that with regular checkups, monitoring blood pressure and cholesterol, and following medical advice, and you're strengthening both the heart and the eyes. A simple daily plan might look like this: a quick walk after breakfast, 10 minutes of dancing in the living room after lunch, and a light stretch before bed. These little habits stack up over time, protecting both cardiovascular and eye health. Still, movement alone isn't the only hidden threat. Other habits, like smoking and constant stress, can quietly add fuel to glaucoma and speed up its progression. Habit number 5. Smoking, stress, environmental toxins. Few things wear down both body and mind as quietly as smoking, stress, and environmental toxins. And for anyone living with glaucoma, they can make protecting vision much harder. Start with smoking. Every puff releases free radicals that accelerate oxidative stress, like pouring acid on the wiring of a house. Over time, that erosion weakens the optic nerve and speeds up damage. Studies show that heavy smoking, measured as more than 20 pack years, is linked to faster thinning of the retinal nerve fiber layer, a clear sign of advancing optic nerve damage. In simple terms, smoking accelerates the road to vision loss. Stress may feel less tangible, but its impact is just as real. Constant worry, poor sleep, and elevated tension keep the body on high alert, which can push intraocular pressure higher, disrupt blood flow, and slow natural repair. The stress itself can't always be avoided, but the way it's managed changes everything. Simple habits like breathing exercises, meditation, or even calming hobbies, gardening, knitting, painting, work as powerful stress management tools. Just 10 minutes of slow breathing or listening to music can lower blood pressure and give the eyes a much-needed break. And then there are the toxins people hardly think about: too much UV light, polluted air, or dusty environments. While research is still building, experts suggest these exposures can worsen oxidative stress and inflammation, leaving the eyes more vulnerable. Protecting yourself is straightforward. Wear UV-blocking sunglasses outdoors, improve air quality at home with filters or ventilation, and avoid smoky or dusty spaces when possible. The challenge is that most people don't link these daily choices to their glaucoma. But together, they create a silent storm around the optic nerve, one that even the best medical treatments struggle to counter. Which brings us to the most important piece of all: sticking to prescribed care. Habit number 6: skipping eye care and poor treatment adherence. Here's a hard truth: lifestyle changes alone can't replace medical treatment when it comes to glaucoma. Eye drops, medications, and sometimes surgery are the foundation for keeping intraocular pressure under control and protecting the optic nerve. The problem is that many people skip doses, forget appointments, or stop treatments once they feel fine. But glaucoma doesn't always show warning signs as it worsens. By the time vision loss is noticeable, the damage is often permanent. Think of it like neglecting to put oil in a car. The engine won't fail instantly, but little by little, parts wear down until the breakdown is unavoidable. In the same way, eye drops act as a protective shield, lowering pressure in a way no diet or exercise can fully replace. Studies are clear: patients who stick to their treatment slow down progression, while missed doses allow the disease to move forward unchecked. Building consistency isn't complicated. It's about linking treatments to habits you already have. Keeping drops next to your toothbrush turns them into part of a routine. Phone alarms or pill organizers can act as gentle nudges. And if cost, side effects, or difficulty applying the drops are issues, it's crucial to talk with your doctor. Many people don't realize that alternatives, combination medications, or financial assistance programs are available. Regular checkups are just as critical. Tests like tonometry, optic nerve imaging, and visual field exams catch changes long before you would notice them. Skipping these visits is like driving blindfolded. You may think the road looks clear, but hidden dangers are building up. Making a habit of asking questions at every visit keeps you actively involved in your own care. Glaucoma isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Combining medical treatment with smart daily choices, like the ones we've explored, is what truly helps preserve sight. Now you know the 6 everyday habits that can quietly make glaucoma worse. Protecting your vision isn't about one dramatic change. It's about the steady, consistent steps you take day after day. So let me ask you, which of these habits feels most familiar? Do you find yourself pressing your face into the pillow at night, leaning on that extra cup of coffee, or skipping your eye drops when life gets busy? Think about the future for a moment. What's one simple change you can make today that your future self will thank you for? Picture yourself 5 years from now, glad you acted early instead of wishing you had. That's the kind of choice you have the power to make right now. If this video gave you clarity, don't keep it to yourself. Click like, share it with someone who might also need this information, and make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next tip that could safeguard your eye health and overall well-being. And before you leave, don't stop here. Click on the next video appearing on your screen. It's full of insights to help you live longer, healthier, and with clearer vision. Your journey to protecting your eyes doesn't end here. It only grows stronger from this moment forward.